Well, hello there. I'm super gym gross from my dance class, but I decided before the shower I would do this new habit that I have with a glass of wine, which is so funny because I've never been a wine drinker, always beer, and I don't usually drink at home. But this past week, not for any reason other than I just learned to drink wine. I've started having a glass every once in a while. So I'm having a glass of wine after my Dance Your Ass Off class. First of all, I just want to plug, so this is kind of for the local Cape girls. I just want to plug like Melinda Emery, my friend and dance instructor who has held my head up for the last 2 years. Having met her through this class and developed a friendship, she is the most positive, energetic person you could ever meet on the Cape. And she does this great class and it just brings all these amazing women together. And I always feel so good after that class, especially when she ends with, I don't know why, but Pink Pony Club. I love it. I love that song. I get so inspired and emotional every time. And we end with it. And I just feel so supported by women without even them knowing half the things that go on with me, except that my dating life went woo and then down in a really fast period of time, which I updated them on this evening, and I'm okay with it. So also something that came out of that, so again, it was not like there was no drama, no tragedy. We just weren't the right fit for each other. He's a great guy and I hope he's happy and finds the right person. We just weren't right for each other. And I think, he's got some confidence issues and I hope he can work through that because I understand what that feels like. I've been there. But I did put a nice ending to it today in my writer style. But the one funny thing about it was he was appreciative of it, but then he was said something about I wasn't as sure as you were. And I was like, oh no, buddy, I wasn't sure about anything. I was just trying. Right. So I know I have to have the last word. And I told he knows that. But I wasn't sure about shit. I was taking a leap of faith and I was open to it. That is all. Wish the best. We both wish the best for each other. So wrap that up nicely today. And something new in my life is I haven't talked to my family about dating in 30 years because I haven't dated anybody that's worth talking to them about in 30 years until this guy. And so wine pause. And so I felt really bad because they got a little excited about it, I think, last week, especially because this guy would have balanced the dinner table out and given my dad and my brother a bud. This guy was perfect for my dad and my brother. But he was scared of the other members of my family who are like me. So, which is so crazy that we went from talking about what it would be like to meet my family. We were just talking about this on Friday night and he was preparing for that. And then 2 hours later, it was over. The ironic thing about it, I'll get back to the family part, but the ironic thing about it is that he is bald and now is the owner of 6 bobby pins from my ornate updo of last weekend. And I kept forgetting to take them home. So he has to live with bobby pins, and I don't even think he knows what they are. He's also still got my dinner in the fridge because I just didn't feel like taking that home. Anyway, so of course I shared a little bit of this with my family, not because there was just something that is also happening peripherally with my family, and a conversation I had a very emotional conversation I had with my uncle at my cousin's wedding a few months ago when I was in a bad relationship. And my uncle had, I don't know, figured out probably through the many places that I overdump my stuff, he had heard that I was seeing someone and he asked me about it. He was like, are you seeing someone? And at that point it was not good. And so I said to him, I go, it's complicated. And I was kind of embarrassed because at that point I knew that relationship I don't think was going to work out. I was still trying. And I even tried one more time that night. But my uncle said, well, regardless, you deserve the best. It means a lot. This is just not something we talk about in my family. And that uncle is very, very, very special. My Uncle Mark. And so I did listen to him and I did get out of the narcissist relationship, and I did set my bar higher. And so I hit that bar this time. And even though it didn't work out, I hit the bar and I did exactly what my uncle told me to do. And so it came out with my family because we were having a conversation about my uncle that was emotional. And I was telling them about this conversation that we had. So it was more about them understanding this like moment, this touching moment that I had with my uncle, and this realization that he gave me, and this gift that he gave me, and what it had just recently turned into. So tonight I decided it, and my family's great. Like I told them, I'm like, don't ask me any questions, don't talk about it. So like they sort of just, I think, live on the edge of their seats hoping that things work out and never know what's going on. So I actually sent a family text tonight just to say, hey, it didn't work out. No harm, no foul. And think these things happen, but that I learned what my standards are. I learned that there are people out there of my caliber, and I am not going to settle for anything less than that, and that I'm still trying. Oh, and that, by the way, I always, well, not always, the 2 times that relationships have come up this year in front of my mother, I have mentioned to her not to get excited because I'm the one that screws relationships up. And I wanted to also take that off the record because the last 2 relationships that I've had in the past 4 months, I didn't screw up at all. And so I think I'm past that point where I'm not screwing up. I'm living it out there. I'm a little bit of an artsy, fartsy, crazy, swing from the chandeliers kind of girl. And like, it's, you know, because you watch my videos. And if you can't handle that, that's okay. It's whatever. I want somebody who can, and who's proud, and like can handle all of this energy and light. But it's interesting, like wine at age 51 being a first time thing. My like emotional maturity for relationships is probably 20 to 30 years behind that of my peers. And so I am just now learning and experiencing and setting expectations for myself that my friends were doing in their 20s and 30s. And that's okay too. If I had tried to do these things when I was younger, it would have come from a place of darkness. I had a lot of dark shit in my life. Literally, I've been seeing a therapist since I was age 6. I think it's finally starting to kick in. Like therapy's starting to work, but it's taken a long time. And again, up until probably 40 or 41, my life was pretty fucking dark. And I had a lot of shit to get through. And so no relationship would have ever been right. And so now, doing it at 51, I'm coming at it from a place of independence, strength, clarity, confidence. I don't need it. It's something I want to have. If you're a guy that I want in my life, like that's a fucking gift. Because right now, in this society with the male loneliness epidemic, and you can't financially provide for us girls, and there's like very little that you feel you can bring to the table. That's true, because we've figured out how to do all of it without you. So if we want you on top of all of that, like take that as a gift and don't fuck it up, because like that is a rare thing. Doesn't mean it has to work out. Just treat it like the gift that it is, because you don't have to be here in my life. So I am doing everything from this place of newness, and I may be 51 and wise and strong on a lot of things, but when it comes to relationships, I'm a little bit like a 25-year-old girl who is just now figuring out what I want after years of bad behaviors that just filled gaps in transitory periods of my time. So I literally have talked to my family about like literally 2 guys in like 30 years. Like the first guy that I ever brought, well, not the first, but the last guy that I brought in front of my family was the last guy that was qualified to be brought in front of my family. And that was you, my buddy Mark, okay? Like, you know who you are. Thank you for being you. Didn't work out. I'm so happy that you have this beautiful family and wonderful life. And I thank fucking God every day that we're still friends, because I learn so much from you. And there is nobody since you that was worth putting at the dinner table until now, even though that didn't work out. So thank you for teaching me that. And those standards are back. And I'm having fun despite the fact that I'm crying, because it's been kind of this emotional day, like happy emotions and like discovery emotions and dance class emotions and now wine. But I'm trying.